world where Marvin Harrison Jr. had some thoughts on his pop's words about this offense, that it's bad.
In his article, he said, that's how he feels, not how I feel. I just try to do my part and be accountable on my end, do my best to help the team.
If you didn't catch that graphic, Pop said it's very hard for me to watch the Cardinals, and you can quote me on that. It was easy for Pops to watch his son do this. Arizona trying to snap the league's longest losing streak to 5. Jacoby Brissett to Harrison Jr. dropping Deron Bland, and even CeeDee Lamb was like, ooh, Harrison Jr., he's heating up. 6 catches actually in the first half. That a season high, that a career high, that another catch. And Arizona outgained the league's best offense, 340 to 333. Cardinals up 17-7 at the half. The offense showed up, the defense, well, that did too. Dak Prescott feeling the pressure. Pass breakup, 24-39. A touchdown and an interception, and an unhappy Jerry Jones all on the same play. The Cardinals defense makes the Cowboys turn it over on down, because that was 4th down. And then, here we go, let's force some turnovers. Dallas had 3 of them. Arizona had none of them, but they recovered a bunch of them. Look at that, just before Cody Simon forces the fumble, the Cardinals recover. 2 minutes to go in the 4th. It's still a double-digit deficit for the Cowboys, trying to do something. And the ageless wonder, Calais Campbell, he was drafted in 2008, and he's still coming up with big plays. The Cardinals win by 10. Here's Jerry.
Jerry, you started off the day by saying that you had a trade ready to go.
Yeah.
Do you have a trade still ready to go?
We still can, yes.
It wasn't dependent on this outcome?
Again, understand what I said. Absolutely, we do. We'll see how tomorrow goes.
Why would you say then you had a trade done earlier today?
Because everybody knows it's subject to tomorrow. You can't have a trade done if you haven't gotten it done. Okay? So we'll see what goes tomorrow. I've told you, and I didn't say. I said we were going to have a trade that'll be consummated tomorrow.
Okay, so the tomorrow that Jerry Jones is referencing is now today. The trade deadline, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Our NFL insider Dan Graziano has us covered, and he joins us live. Graz, you have some news. What can you tell us?
Yeah, the trade he's talking about is expected to be for Bengals linebacker Logan Wilson. This according to our Adam Schefter and Todd Archer just a few moments ago. Logan Wilson's a player the Bengals, have not been using as much. He had asked to be traded, and it appears that he will be headed to Dallas as Dallas makes an effort to shore up their defense by acquiring a player from the only defense in the league that has been worse than theirs.
I was going to say this is essentially moving houses in the same neighborhood, but okay. So we heard from Jerry Jones. We heard what he had to say and sort of how he, particulated some of the details of this trade that wasn't yet consummated. But was this, when you talk about addressing one bugaboo for the Cowboys, is one trade strong enough to do that? One trade for one player, I should specify.
Probably not. They did need help at linebacker. There's no question about it. And Logan Wilson's been a good player in the league. He just was losing playing time to a rookie, Barrett Carter, that the Bengals like better. So I think it's a helper, and I don't think the Cowboys are necessarily done. I think they'll continue to have other conversations throughout the day, and maybe they will make another move to get another defensive player. There are players out there that are available. Bradley Chubb of the Dolphins is an edge rusher that I think, would be of interest to them. But they did need to make a move at linebacker, and it appears that they have.
Now, Cincinnati might be able to just sort of prop the door open because there are other Bengals players potentially on the move. What's the buzz that you're hearing around their pass rusher, Trey Hendrickson?
Still hearing, as of last night, that they were telling teams they do not intend to move on from Trey Hendrickson. He's only signed through this year. Obviously, he had been open in the offseason about wanting a new deal, which he didn't end up getting, or wanting out. But so far, it sounds like the Bengals are asking a high price for Trey Hendrickson. If they lose him in free agency, they could get a good compensatory pick in the 2027 draft. So I think you'd have to make it worth their while by offering something that they would deem more valuable than that if you want Trey Hendrickson. And so far, no one has.
Again, the NFL trade deadline coming your way 4 p.m. Eastern time this afternoon. Dan Graziano coming your way later in the show. Thank you, Dan.
Alongside me, and you all were fantastic on both sides of the football, and as you and I were waiting to come on here live, I just told you how much respect I have for your group. Not allowing that series of close losses to bleed into this one.
Yeah.
What's the message in the room before the game tonight about what's going to be required to beat a team who's been great in this building?
Yeah, I mean, we've been so close the last few weeks. We've been battling, and we just have came up a little bit short the last few weeks. So we know how good of a team we can be. We just had to go out there and close the game, and I think that was the big message tonight is let's close the game. In the fourth quarter, let's not let off the gas. Let's put the pedal down and let's close these guys out, and I think that's what we did today.
When it comes to closing the game, again, something you and I were talking about out there, Calais Campbell, a man of the year and the oldest guy out there and the largest human on planet Earth, is getting sacks late. I'm just going to give you a chance to brag on that defense. They're sacking Dak. They're turning them over. Yeah. How well did they play?
Man, they played unbelievable tonight. They got the turnover early. We got the fumble out over on the other sideline that just they jumped back on it. And then the fumble at the end of the game on our sideline was a game-changing play. They're driving down. They're having a great drive. Going to put it into a one-score game, and then our defense gets a turnover to give us the ball back. So we can go into 4-minute drive. So super proud of our defense. They played extremely well, and they were a huge part of the win tonight for sure.
We talked so much on Countdown about the close calls and this and that. I started with a question about it, but could you give folks an idea of what's required of the group to just keep the faith, particularly in a division? Right. I mean, Seattle, Los Angeles, San Francisco, they're all so good, and you all are a play or two away from being the team who's leading the division.
No doubt.
What is just how does a group lock arms and continue
I think we
forward?
just know who we are inside. We know what kind of team we can be, and like I said, we haven't been getting killed by teams. We're just losing by 1 point here.
But isn't that almost worse in a way?
Yeah.
Like, isn't that harder?
It
you know
is
what I
hard,
mean?
but I think the main thing is we just dug deep and really played for each other, went out there and just left it all out on the field. We knew everyone was going to be watching tonight on Monday night, and we just had to leave it all out on the field and go win.
All right, about that. When we do Countdown, we start 6 Eastern, 5 local. You're talking to Ryan Clark, and I got a chance to say hello in person, introduce myself, and you said, I just want to play well enough that I'm up here with me on SportsCenter. I'm like, well, look, go ball out, and you can take care of that. Yeah. You get another touchdown. You do what you have done all year long. What is your mentality of what you can do on this gigantic stage tonight to get you guys in the win column?
Yeah, I feel like, when I'm out there, I feel like I can make plays all over the field. And, we missed a couple early, but Jacoby kept coming back to me, and that touchdown in the end zone was a huge play for us. And the seam at the end, I mean, Jacoby's playing so well. He's giving me the ball when I need it, and I'm just so proud of our offense. We played very well tonight.
We were laughing because a game earlier this year against Green Bay, you had 2 touchdowns. What'd you tell me? You said I should have had 3. And I was laughing because you were so angry in that game on the bench. You looked like you were just furious at the universe, but you channeled that rage in such a positive way that night. There are a ton of young tight ends that are really playing at a high level. Yeah. What has happened for you over the course of these last couple of years that you have become a true weapon in your offense?
I think just continue to stay down, just make plays, and when the ball comes, you make plays. And like you said, you're not going to make them all, and you got to just focus on the next one. You can't let that one play behind you,